Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, November 5th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to make good decisions as a trader, then this will be a video for you. Real quick before I get started, I do want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering. So if you're liking what you see as I go through the video and you do want to learn more about this tool and how they can be used to build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up for the class. Now, there's a couple of things going on because it is live. I totally understand if you're watching this right now and maybe you already have something on your schedule. So if that's the case, or if you're just watching it on Friday morning, then clearly you've missed it. But if you would still like to see it because it will be recorded, then just drop me an email, clay@claytrader.com, which you see there on the screen, and I would be happy to send you a recording of it after everything's done and uploaded and all that good stuff. So like I said, if you can't make it to because you already got something on your schedule, or if you just flat out missed it because it's Friday morning when you're watching this, still drop me an email and I'd be happy to send it to you. A couple of quick clarification points here. I will be doing the 30-minute time frame on all of these. In other words, for those of you that are new, instead of each one of these candlesticks, as they're called, representing an entire day's worth of time, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes worth of time. And then second, the market is still open for a while. So yes, that candle will be changing throughout the course of the presentation. So you're not seeing anything, but I like to do these when the market's still open because sometimes we can catch some really entertaining action live in front of us. But as far as the overall levels and all that is concerned, the market's close enough to being closed where I feel confident in talking about what I will. So first, ticker symbol here to take an eye on, PETZ, and did not think I would be doing this one at all because, nice gap up, pulled back. But then right there, that 30-minute session right there clearly made this a very interesting chart now heading into Friday, given just the massive explosion upwards. So a lot of people are going to be watching this one because, yeah, that was a very eye-catching move where, and especially when you look at the volume was basically nothing, and then all of a sudden, it's begun to increase again, and the price, like I said, has acted very nicely with it. So as far as, breakout areas are concerned now, and levels that I think a lot of people will be watching, that first key level right up there at $4.50. And I say a lot of people because when a lot of people around the world are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can definitely produce some very dynamic movements. And in my opinion, at least, that's what that 450 is representing, a potential self-fulfilling prophecy area as far as levels of support are concerned. So if there are any sorts of pullbacks or anything like that, then the first key level to keep an eye on, if there is any sort of pullbacks, going to be right down there at $3.35, which was essentially the breakout point. You can see that it struggled right there, but then when it finally did break up through it right there, that's really what launched it up, in the bullish direction there. So in my mind, those are going to be the two main levels that make the most sense to watch on Friday. So let's see how it all plays out. Next one, NIO, and just a beautiful day today. Finally got the breakout, and then also a beautiful example of the power of charts and why I would argue that charts, while nothing's perfect, why they should be used as a tool. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that line there as it served its purpose for now. But the big dynamic that happened today, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched past videos, but the price is broken up through this red line here, this resistance at $42.50, which brings about the first update. And this update is just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken, you want to see them act as support. And wouldn't you know it, check this out. Not once, but twice, the bears try to press down, but both times the bulls stepped up and said, no, this area is now going to be support. So 42.50, just like I said, a classic example of a resistance acting as support. And, like I said, a great, I'm not patting myself on the back there for putting that line there, but I am patting charts on the back as truly a tool that, like I said, I would argue should be, learned and put into your trader tool belt. So more of the story here going forward, 42.50 going to be that near-term level of support. From more of an overarching standpoint, watch that purple line there, 50 period moving average. As the name implies, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So as long as the price stays above that line, as the line itself moves higher and higher, then the overall chart remains fully in the bull's control. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, key level now seems to be right up there at 43.65, so keep an eye on that. But all in all, from a bigger picture standpoint, finally got the break of 42.50, so let's see if the momentum can continue moving forward. Next one, AMC, and not a whole lot to talk about because the levels that I talked about previously, came into play here. So if anything, it's not really talk about new levels, but kind of confirmation that, yeah, these levels that appeared previously are still playing a role. And the biggest level right here at $40.75, if you want to just call it 41 to make it easier, that works too. But like I said, put this line into place previously, talked about it being a level of resistance, and when you know it, you can see fake breakout during the opening 30 minutes. Then a couple other times throughout the course of the day, got up right around that area, could never quite push through, and then of course did pull back here a little bit, but that wasn't anything significant. But like I said, point here being is that, yeah, this $40.75 mark, 41, whatever you want to call it, is definitely going to be, and has been confirmed today as that key area of resistance. As far as supports are concerned, like I said, nothing bad today happened at all from a support standpoint. The price is still up above that purple line there. Like I said previously, the 50-period moving average price is still nicely up above that pink line, which is the very famous 200-period moving average. So yeah, maybe it's annoying that it broke out and then came back down, but that's a very micro picture. From a macro sense, like I said, the price is just simply doing some consolidating right here at higher bases, and that's what ultimately matters from a bigger picture point of view. So yeah, maybe today an annoying day, but overall, looking at multiple days, everything's still fine. Next one here, OCGN. Now, from the overall standpoint, things are no longer fine on this one. I've done this one time and time again and talked about, hey, it's pulled back, but everything's okay. But after today's price movement, things are definitely looking very, very shaky, namely because after today's price movement, not only did the price drop down below the 50-period moving average, but as we were just talking about, the price is now down below that pink line there, the 200-period moving average. So is it completely game over? In my opinion, that's a little too dramatic, but are things really starting to, walk on thin ice? Absolutely. And a level that I would definitely call a must-hold area moving forward is going to be down here at $8.75. Why is that level so important? And I'm not saying at all this was going to happen, but just for explanation's sake, if the price were to go down to $8.75 and then break through there, what would that be doing to the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back to where it was before that big move occurred. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements with genuine strength are not going to go back to where they were, right? They're going to make some form of progress moving forward. So once again, I'm not saying the price is going to go down there or break down through it, but that is why I would definitely consider $8.75 a key level of resistance moving forward, key level of support moving forward. But yeah, after today, things are definitely looking very shaky. Next one here, ticker symbol Ford F, and what a great move from this one. Last time I did it, it was when this level was an area of resistance, and you can see right there, classic example once again. Broke that area, and remember that rule earlier, when levels of resistance are broken, you want to see them act as support. Check that out. Broke out, came back down, and then right there, that resistance acted as support, and boom, up it's gone since then. So another great example on why, like I said, I would argue learning technical analysis, learning charts are not a perfect tool, but something that's worth considering. And as of right now, it's really just follow the trend, higher highs and higher lows, which is why I haven't done it for a while, just because there's not a whole lot to say other than, well, yeah, it put in higher highs. Oh, yeah, it put in higher lows. But it's been long enough where I figure I'll get some things updated here. So for those people that like to play pullbacks, interesting pullback area on this one seems to be right there around $18.80. And then, of course, as I've mentioned already, from an overarching standpoint, continue to watch that purple line as the line moves higher and higher. As long as the price is above there, then overall, you got to give the full benefit of the doubt to the bulls. And then as far as areas of resistance, nothing fancy, nothing complicated here at all. Literally just a question of, okay, well, where did the party momentum finally stop today? That was essentially up there at 1950. So 1950 will be that main breakout area moving forward. But all in all, as long as the thing keeps on putting in those higher highs and higher lows, that's by far what matters most. Next one, NVDA, and what a monster move on this one. But a nice, interesting setup here for a couple of reasons. First off, it showed today that it can still move and move very quick. A whole lot of momentum showed up. It gapped up and then shot all the way up there. But now all of a sudden, it's pulled back. But in pulling back, it's actually being, nice in the sense of, well, for those people that are going, I don't know, am I chasing? Am I buying the top? Am I suffering from FOMO, the fear of missing out? Well, all that has been alleviated now, right? Now, the people that bought right there, yeah, they suffered from FOMO. They're probably not having a very good afternoon. But for people that are still observing, you no longer have to worry about, I don't know, am I suffering from FOMO? Well, no, because the price has pulled back. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to be a winning trade, but it does at least eliminate that one potential of, I don't know, am I getting caught up in the excitement? No, because the price, like I said, has started to pull back, which makes for, okay, well, we're seeing these potential pullback points. The one that stands out to me right there around the $290 mark. So $290, again, not a guaranteed area, but you got to like it from a risk versus reward standpoint if the price can get down there. For those of you that are maybe still like to play breakouts, well, then to me, a key breakout point going to be right up there at the 307 mark. But again, the overall premise here is that huge momentum. Now it's just pulled back. So the question becomes, okay, is this just a temporary breath in the momentum before it continues? That all remains to be seen, but certainly a setup that I think belongs on the watch list. Next one here, ticker symbol ZOM. For you penny stock players out there, gotta like this one, especially when you look down here at the volume. Very impressive movement. And late day here, what occurred? Got a nice breakout right there. It's pulling back here as of now, after the pullback. So maybe this pullback doesn't really have, a genuine amount of strength behind it. But overall, though, you gotta like the fact that, regardless of whatever happens with this 30-minute session, of course, unless it just collapses all the way down there, that would be a different story, but I don't foresee that happening here. But as of now, you still got to like the fact that over time, the price has been building those higher bases, putting in the higher stair steps. And, from that angle of things, as long as those stair steps are progressing in the upwards direction, that is by far what matters most. As far as, hey, Clay, what's going to make this chart look the, best moving forward? Certainly if the price can stay up there above 55.5 cents. But as I've said before, from an overarching standpoint, watch that purple line, which does, I realize, seem kind of irrelevant right now, given the prices up there, that level's all the way down there. But remember, it is a moving average. So as time goes by, that line will move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant as time goes on. As far as areas of resistance, key battleground point at this point seems to be all about that 59-cent mark. So overall, if you like penny stocks, then this is definitely one that's got some interesting dynamics going on. Next one here, ticker symbol CRXT, and this is one that's looking very, very ugly, but for you longtime viewers of the top 10, you know that every once in a while I like to throw in some ugly-looking charts because, as I say, there can be opportunity in ugly, but it can be ugly for a reason. So that's why if you're not going to be a disciplined trader, if you don't have risk management protocols in your strategy, well, you shouldn't be trading at all, but you definitely shouldn't be trading these sorts of ugly setups. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. This thing was looking very, very nice. Huge move up. And all of a sudden, this thing is just dropping, not looking so good. But it does bring about a question of, okay, well, is this thing going to drop some more? And could it potentially create a situation where it bounces? And there's a very interesting level down there. You have this convergence of those moving averages, former breakout point. So while nothing is guaranteed, $4.50 is by no means some sort of random area on the chart. And that's our job as traders, is we want to identify not random areas, right? Because if you're just doing stuff randomly, that just means you're gambling, and that's not going to be a sustainable way to make money in the markets. But if you're doing things based on logic, on plausible, if you're finding not random areas, then there, again, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to make money, but it means that, okay, you're trying to leverage things in your favor, and 450 is definitely a very interesting area. So I don't think anybody would be shocked to see it come down there, find some support, and then potentially bounce. And again, if it bounces, you have a whole lot of great upside potential. If it doesn't, again, assuming you're disciplined, well, then you have a very minimal risk compared to the reward. So yeah, if I like to kind of play these ugly things that it seems like, it can't get any worse, and all of a sudden the price just turns around, then CRXT is definitely one that I'd say to keep an eye on. Next one, NKLA, and the only kind of nitpick I have on this one is that the breakout, not unfortunately, if you're already in it, but it happened right here, last 30 minutes, the breakout has occurred. So if you're somebody that likes to play breakouts, likes to let things consolidate and then break out, well, you kind of missed that opportunity. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't play it another way, such as pullbacks, or who knows, maybe you're just saying, no, Clay, I think this is just the start of the momentum. I have no problem buying right there because I think this has only just begun. Well, that's your personal risk tolerance, and that's your decision. But from just kind of a strictly good old-fashioned, well, you had the resistance right there. Well, it has broken through that area. But as far as just overall movements, definitely a great day-to-day. You got to like the fact that volume is coming in a big way. And then, yes, very clearly a whole lot of upwards momentum there has shown up. So from a resistance standpoint, pretty much just a blue sky breakout at this point. And then in terms of, potential pullback areas, got to like that area right there at 1465. And this is probably a very greedy pullback requirement. I suppose it could happen, but, down there around 1385, an interesting level. But given its way up here at 1550, anything's possible, but I suppose, like I said, that maybe that's a little unrealistic. And when I say blue sky, I just mean on this time frame, but if we go to the daily time frame, which is, again, the more traditional one, meaning each one of these now represents an entire day, you can see that it's blue sky in the sense of it hasn't been up in this area in the sense in several months. But as far as next potential areas of resistance are concerned, got an area right there around the $16 mark, which looks like it'll be not impossible, but a pretty stubborn level to watch. But all in all, any angle you look at it, monster movement today. Next one, PROG, and a lot of interesting dynamics are going on that create this nice pattern. So the first dynamic is you got to like the fact that, generally speaking, the price has done a fantastic job of honoring that pink line there. Again, the 200 period moving average. So from a kind of overall pattern perspective, that right there, if I kind of turn that into a trend line, is going to be one part of the pattern. The other part of the pattern, right here, we have this resistance trend line, which illustrates that we have this wedge pattern that has formed. Now, I do want to get that in there a little bit nicer than what I just drew it. So right there going to be, I think that shows up. Let me make that a little bit thicker just in case. There we go. So that's going to be the overall resistance trend line. So again, if I try to keep this all one color to try to make it a little bit easier. So there's the support, there's a resistance, and then here's our wedge pattern here. So more of the story here, A lot of people are going to be watching that 370 mark because, as I alluded to, I think at the very first stock, there is that self-fulfilling prophecy aspect out there. And a lot of people are watching that. And if the price were to break up through there, does it guarantee a whole lot more momentum? No. But is it plausible? Is it a not random area? Yeah, absolutely. That is not random at all. So if you were to buy up there, it's a rational decision in the sense of, okay, yeah, it's breaking out. If you're a breakout player, well, then I buy breakout. So there you go. And then as far as levels of support are concerned, again, just continue to watch that pink line because as I already illustrated, it's been doing a good job of honoring that. But overall, you have this kind of longer-term wedge pattern, and it's just a question of can the price finally break through 370 and stay above it? Let's see what happens over Friday and then next week. So that wraps up the top 10. And again, I do want to personally invite you to get signed up for this live online class that's completely free. So if you like what you saw here, you want to learn more about charts, how to use them to build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up. But also, like I said, if it's too last minute and you already have something on your schedule, or if you're watching it Friday morning and you've already missed it, still drop me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I happily send you the recording of it, after the event has taken place, because again, it will be recorded. So just drop me an email and I'd be happy to send that to you. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to do this, then it does take quite a bit of time and effort on my part, but I have no problem doing it as long as I know people are enjoying. So if you are enjoying these videos, hit that like button, leave a basic comment below, even if it's just saying hi, a ticker symbol that you traded today, a smiley face, but any of those things go a long way in communicating to me that you enjoy these videos. And as long as I know people enjoy them, like I said, I will continue to do them. So hit that like button and leave a basic comment below. And again, if you want to learn more about charts and how to use them, definitely get signed up for the class or just drop me an email and I'll happily send you a recording of it. Everybody take care. Have a good one.